Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I decided to show you what I do to get ready on a full moon, especially a full moon like we're having this month of March. The 18th of March is the warm moon. I will have Alfred explain to you what's so special about this moon, and I will show you all the rituals that I do for the full moon, and you can participate also because I will do a card reading and dice reading, and it will also concern you also. So let's get started by Alfred explaining to us what's so special about this moon.
Catch the full worm moon. March's full worm moon arrives on Friday, March 18th. Here's all you need to know about the full worm moon, including why it has such an odd name. Why is it called the worm moon? The full moon names used by the Old Farmer's Almanac come from a number of places, including Native American, Colonial American, and European sources. Traditionally, each full moon name was applied to the entire lunar month in which it occurred, not only to the full moon. The worm moon. March's full moon goes by the name worm moon, which was originally thought to refer to the earthworms that appear as the soil warms in spring. This invites robins and other birds to feed, a true sign of spring. An alternative explanation for this name comes from Captain Jonathan Carver, an 18th century explorer, who wrote that this moon name refers to a different sort of worm, beetle larvae, which begin to emerge from the thawing bark of trees and other winter hideouts at this time. Alternative March moon names. There are quite a few names for the March moon that speak to the transition from winter to spring. Some refer to the appearance or reappearance of certain animals, such as the eagle moon, goose moon, Algonquin, Cree, or crow comes back moon, northern Ojibwe, while others refer to signs of the season. The sugar moon, Ojibwe, marks the time of year when the sap of sugar maples starts to flow. The wind-strong moon, Pueblo, refers to the strong windy days that come at this time of year. The sore-eyes moon, Lakota Assiniboine, highlights the blinding rays of sunlight that reflect off the melting snow of late winter. The Paschal full moon. March's full moon often plays a role in religion, too. Specifically, in Christianity, this moon is known as the Lenten moon if it is the last full moon of the winter season if it occurs before the spring equinox, or as the Paschal full moon if it is the first full moon of spring. If it occurs after the spring equinox. This year, March's full moon, March 18th, 2022, occurs before the spring equinox, March 20th, 2022, making it the Lenten moon. April's full moon, April 16th, 2022, will be the first full moon to occur after the spring equinox and will therefore determine the date of Easter this year.
Okay, so concentrate on one of these three cards. Concentrate on the one that attracts you most. Card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. concentrate on the card that attracts you, that will mean that that's the card for you for this full moon reading. So I'm going to start with card number 1. It's Michael. I am presence. For this card reminds you that the thorn of your spiritual sovereignty is awaiting you, and that you have all the power of the creators within you. When you discover our soul's purpose and allow ourselves to be intended into the world as a spiritual speaker, we are often discouraged by others simply because the divine can be missing from other people's lives. Michael wishes you to sit on the throne of your true power in the individual wisdom of the one mind, the one I am presence. This is the moment when divine occupations move through you and alert you to the facts that what you see within is also within. Feel your throne as the seat of empathy, and the chant how through your base Karitika to support this energy. If you chose number 2, is equal security. For this card, the angels wish to assure you that they unite you with their power, benevolence. Ezekiel is particularly overlight your journey with comfort at this time. If you are disconsiderate, angelic Xavier will share throughout you. If you are fearful, you will hear worshipings about your connection with the source. If you are diseased, Ezekiel will comfort you with manna from heaven, certifying the angels will remind you that true security means self-cure, and so you will be returned to the well-being of the source admissional. The secret symbol of the flower of life will nourish your life in its wisdom, remembering you to reveal all to God as well as to the angels, to take all challenges from you. Chant holy to bright stability in your emotional center. And if you have chosen card number 3, into vision, Rizel. The oracles wish you to turn inwards to your intuition, to the natural laws of your soul, which will guide you through the pulsations of eternal love. Trust these inner wisdoms, O dear one, as it is the abundance of your spirit that speaks to you. Listen carefully to these inner murmurings, for when we are called to and teaching and guiding a vision, a book, a piece of music, or natural landscape, it means there is something powerful that will be communicated to us. Riza is at one with profound inner intelligence and wants you to be awake to these worshipings. Sit in silence for the ocular prof of Ezekiel's love. So that was the reading for the full moon. Whichever card, I hope these cards intend with what you are dealing with right now. So now we will move on to the dice readings. Now for the dice message. You have 3 dices here. You have a green one, which is the zodiac signs. You have this blue one, which is the planets. And this purple one is the house. So what we can do is concentrate on one of these dices and see which one attracts you most, and upon that one, when I get to that one in a reading, well, that should correspond with you. These dices have 12 surfaces, and when I shuffle them, they must stay in the circle here. If they go over, I have to roll the dice again. So this is a reading for the full moon. Let's see. Okay, just the purple one went out. Okay. So first of all, we'll start with the blue one, because the blue one represents the planets. And it's also good to consider it, even though it's not the dice we chose, consider it in our thoughts for this new cycle that's beginning. Okay, here we go. It's Mercury. Use the languages, conversions, and informations, verbal and nonverbal, brilliance, and the use of reason. So basically it says more verbal reactions, using it to express ourselves better. So we should, if we've chose this one, we have to concentrate on expressing ourselves a bit better, more clearly. Okay, so now we will go down to this one, which is the zodiac signs. Even though it's not your zodiac sign, if you chose this one's your reading for this cycle, which is Taurus. Spontaneous, sensitive nature, sadness caused by others, and emotional releases. So you're gonna have to concentrate, meditate on releasing your emotions more, and learn how to control your emotions. So for your cycle this month would be to meditate and learn your emotions and express them properly. And for the third one and the last one, which is the purple one, which is the House of Threes, communication, distribution, intelligence, development, slight location and transportation, same new places, explore new places. So this one is more like for traveling. If you're gonna travel or planning a trip, make sure everything's down, dotted to the last I and T, and make sure that you are ready for this trip. There's a trip for some people coming and plannings. So that was the dice reading for most, and you could take all three and consider it for yourself. It's good meditating, what could you say, good meditating suggestions. There, I said it, suggestions. So then I am going to show you what pendulum can do for the full moon and the new cycle. Okay guys, this is a pendulum reading chart. It says no, rephrase, that means rephrase your question, yes, try again, no, will not answer, yes, and maybe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the pendulum over the chart, and you ask the pendulum a question and you will get your answer. So concentrate on the pendulum and ask your question. You can say, pendulum, am I gonna be lucky this month? You can say something like that, or whatever comes to mind. So concentrate on the pendulum and you will have your answer. I feel it wants to move to get your answer. So the answer to your question would be yes. So if it was a wish or in something you wanted, it's a positive answer. It said yes, you saw it yourselves. Okay guys, now I am gonna prepare a spell. I do a spell every full moon, especially with the new season that is coming up. We are going to be going out more. We are going to go explore places we don't know, if they're really haunted or if we're in danger. So I am going to prepare some dragon's blood and put it in this veil and seal it, and that can act as a protection just as much as crystals would or holy water. So I'm going to show you how I prepare it. Here, as you can see, it is written, I'm not good showing things at the camera. It's written dragon's blood, and it's like red seeds risen that you have to crush a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this moderate and use this pistol. So I'm going to add a few like this. You don't need very much for this quantity of a veil. So, and I like to keep my plastic for this one because it's red and it stains, and I don't want to stain my stick. It's new. So I'm gonna just squish away. This can take quite some time, so I will fast forward the video to when I get exactly the consistency that I want. Okay, so it is now all crushed into little pieces, almost into powder. So what I'm gonna do now is take my little bottle. This is how I do it. Usually they mix it in with the oil and everything, but I rather it mix by itself in the veil. So here we go. See the powder? So you slip it into the little bottle. This is how I like doing it. Instead of using the stove and heating up the oil, this oil has been heated very many times before, so there you go. You just have to like fill the bottom part, And as it ages, it'll mix more with the oil. It'll dissolve by itself naturally. Okay, so I got every last little dust particle. So now this oil, you can use extra virgin olive oil, you can use sunflower, you could use whatever oil you want. This one is a leftover CBD oil that you can put in your salads. This is the edible one. There's no chemicals to get high or something there. This is purely natural from the plant, the oil. Open it. Then I like to put my veil in here, so if the oil drops out or leaks out. So as I'm adding the oil, I think and meditate of what I want this dragon's blood to do for me. And I continue to do this until my little bottle here is full, or almost full. And this is not something you can eat or whatever. It's really as a protection. You can carry this with you everywhere you go. If you go to graveyards and you're afraid to have an attachment, or you're really sensitive to attachments, you should try this. But don't seal the cover, the lid, if you are sensitive to attachments. So what you could do is just open and rub some on your skin, or depending on your beliefs, put some on your fingers and do like the name of the Father and the Son with this oil on your fingers as you're doing it. So here is my little bottle. Here comes the messy part by putting on the little cap. Sometimes it squeezes over. No, I'm lucky this time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put all this aside for now. Put this over here. Okay, this so you can see. This is the little veil that I made of dragon's blood. As it ages, it will come red by itself. So now it's like if you shake it, it's like a dark red. I don't know if you can see. It's a dark red. It will lighten as it sets in. So I'm just going to shake it a little more. It's starting to thicken like blood also. It's supposed to really look like blood in a way. Okay, so then I don't want to rub it on me or anything. I just want it as a protection. Or even maybe I might be mailing it out to a friend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal it so my friend won't have a messy all over, and can use it as a protection like I do. So here, I'm gonna light up a candle and I'm gonna melt wax everywhere around the lid to seal my intent at the same time. You could use whatever color candle for this one. As soon as it decides to start to melt, it should be good. It's not melting right away. Okay, while I'm waiting for this one to start melting, I will take one of these and pour it on. But first, I'm going to take a paper and so that I don't get wax all over. I'll do it like this maybe. Get this, I'll take this wax and start by sealing it like that, because if you take just white wax you won't have color, it won't be as nice, but it is sealed. So you just wait for it to dry a bit. And you empty the wax. Even though it's going down the bottle, that doesn't matter. It'll protect the bottle since the bottle's made out of glass. It'll protect it also from breaking. So I'm just gonna try and see if it's gonna start to melt. Yeah, it's starting to melt now. So I'm gonna have a little bit of color. So I do this on the full moon. See my wax caught on fire. So I do this every full moon. I change my little bottle. Make sure that I have a fresh one every month. Because it's good for a month. At least. So I'm gonna let this dry, guys, and I'm gonna show you what I do next. Okay, so now we are gonna re-energize and purify our crystals. These are my crystals that need to be purified. By doing so, by purifying them, like we believe they protect us, so they absorb all the negative energy, but at one point they must be released. So to release the negative energy, what a better time to do it than on a full moon. So what we do is, I got just a regular plate here, and I also have some coarse salt here. So I just lie it down. Like so. Make like a bedding for my crystals. And I just line up in a row, lie them on the salt. The salt will absorb the energy from the moon and filter the bad energy. So This is how I do it. And I can also add pendulum. Where did I put my pendulum? It's right here. I can also energize my pendulum. So when we go out on an investigation or do a reading, pendulum will be refreshed and ready. So what you do is you put it like this, and you put it like on the windowsill where the moonlight is, or if you don't have like the moonlight bright, it doesn't matter, as long as it's at a windowsill on the full moon night. It should work, because the full moon has so much energy that the crystals should be able to capture them all. They should all be able to capture them, even though it's not in the direct, like a sunlight or direct moonlight. Me, I'm lucky I have direct moonlight. So I will go and put this on my windowsill, and then I'll show you what else I do. Okay, so the last thing I do is I read a book, and I have eaten healthy all day, relaxed for a few hours, read a book. This is the book I'm reading this trimester. We'll learn more about this. And I also meditate on a goddess. For this trimester, I decided to meditate and get to know her. She is the goddess of the jealousy. You become friends with her, and you won't have no enemies that are jealous of you. So I found that interesting. I'm going to get to know her, and this will be my goddess of the month. So guys, I hope you liked the way I do my rituals for the full moon, especially for the warm moon. And I really wanted to go into detail and show you and make you participate as much as possible to this full moon ritual. So on that note, I will let you go for now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next video.